Hello and welcome to marketing91.com. In this video, we are going to cover the topic on succession planning. Before we proceed any further, please do note that we publish 3 videos daily on YouTube. So please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Now let's start with what is succession planning. The process in which new leaders are recognized and trained to take place of old leaders in case of them quitting, retiring or dying is called succession planning. Succession planning helps boost the availability of employees that are competent and skilled to take up the roles of their successors as in old leaders when the need arises. The long-standing aims and objectives of a company have to be understood in succession planning. The dictating trends and growth needs of employees also need to be identified. Moving on, sources of succession planning. Succession can be either from outside or from inside of the company. Succession in a company can be either external or internal. Internal succession instills a feeling of inclusion among employees where they feel like they grow simultaneously alongside the company. But companies might be forced to search for talents externally in particular situations. Example, when the company is searching for fresh ideas for huge or diverse programs and expansions, or when capable and eligible candidates inside the company are unavailable. A company might not be able to develop if it completely depends on internal sources. Moving on to the purpose of succession planning. If a company exists for a long time, its main positions need to be filled by succession of new people. Recognizing and training employees to take the place of current occupants of main positions in a company for many potential reasons is succession planning's key goal. Mentioned below are a few reasons. First, superannuation, employees retiring because they reach a certain age. Next, resignation, employees leaving their current job to join a new job. Third, promotion, employees moving upward in the hierarchy of the organization. Fourth, diversification, employees being redeployed to new activities. Or lastly, creation of a new position, employees getting placed in new positions at the same level. Moving on to the objective of succession planning. First, recognize employees that have the potential to take up bigger responsibilities in the company. Next, get the current leaders involved in the training of future leaders with major potential. Next, improve the dedication and retentiveness of employees. Next, reduce the cost and inconvenience of hiring people from outside the company. Next, the expectation of current employees with respect to career development must be met. And finally, important experiences for development must be provided to employees with the potential to occupy major roles. Moving on to the succession planning process. First, the main role for a replacement or succession planning must be recognized. Next, the motivational and capability profile needed to take up these roles must be determined. Then on, orient your decisions to the future and evaluate these criteria against employees. Fourth, recognize the potential of employees to occupy major roles and perform well. And finally, prepare and train employees to take up major roles mainly through appropriate experiences. Moving on, who is responsible for succession planning in a company? Led by the CEO, the top management of a company initiates the dedication to succession planning. The whole procedure is ineffective without their commitment. Additionally, in giving direction to succession planning for the CEO, the board of directors play a major role. They hold the CEO responsible for ensuring the execution and success of succession planning. Usually, HR is given the responsibility of everything related to developing the process and implementing it. The COO, the CEO, the board, and the other main leaders must be completely engaged and involved in this process. Moving on, succession planning steps. First, have a plan and take charge. Second, identify eligible candidates for succession. Third, inform them. Fourth, execute efforts related to professional development. Fifth, test your succession plan through a trial run. Sixth, merge your recruitment strategy with your succession plan. And finally, give thought to your own replacement. Moving on to the benefits of succession planning. Employees are aware of the possibilities of advancement or even ownership. This increases job satisfaction and empowerment. Next, career development between employees is strengthened if they are aware of the company's plans for opportunities in the future. In order to fill positions internally when required, the employee's value is kept a better eye on the manager. It gets easier for employees and leaders to share the visions and principles of a company with the help of succession planning. Next, correct succession planning is beneficial to the shareholders of the companies that are publicly traded. For instance, when years prior to the retirement of the current CEO, the involvement of the next CEO candidate is seen in business operation and is respected as well. Additionally, investors will refrain from selling the stocks of the company post the retirement of the CEO if it has a well-expressed succession plan. Moving on to a few examples of succession planning. First, Steve Jobs' succession planning. Steve Jobs recommended the board to elect Tim Cook as a new CEO after submitting his own resignation to them. The board considered it and elected Mr. Tim Cook as Apple's CEO. The background. After the news of his health surfacing, public exposure and power was slowly handed off by Steve Jobs to the main personality at Apple. The presentations of many new product announcements were handled by Tim Cook. Jonathan Ive, the chief designer, and Phil Schiller started getting more public exposure on the platform. Moving on to some discussions about Tim Cook's succession planning. Tim Cook's leadership team's succession plan is Apple's gradually increasing focus. While the company is increasingly training a younger and fresh group of leaders, Tim Cook has been Apple's chief executive for 10 years now. Majority of Tim's management team is about to retire and has spent more than 20 years at Apple. According to a Bloomberg report, 59-year-old Tim Cook would be succeeded by 57-year-old Jeff Williams, the chief operating officer, in case he retires. But Cook has shown no signs of wanting to retire. Sources within the company told Bloomberg that William is seen as Cook's heir apparent since he has spent the past several years running Apple global operations. That includes overseeing the development of the Apple Watch and Apple Health initiatives, as well as hardware and design oversight. And the final example of Real Madrid's football team. The most coveted in football history, the Champions League, was reshaped in 1992 and 1993, after which Real Madrid was historically the first European soccer club to monumentally retain the title in 2016-17. The historic run of the club is influenced by many factors. The major one is Zinedine Zidane leading them as head coach. After Rafa Benitez got fired from his position in the middle of 2015-2016 season, Zidane was elected. Many people doubted Zidane's ability to even survive the world's most challenging and probed coaching positions. Success, on the other hand, was unexpected by most. This is because the managerial experience Zidane had prior to this did not initially appear to be enough for the job. His quiet demeanor, according to pundits, also didn't seem like a fit for a role perpetually under the burning spotlight of the Santiago Bernabeu. Zidane's direction is a part of an efficient succession plan's element which makes his success less astonishing. Much of the praise finally heaped on Zizou has focused on his ability to manage the egos of an extremely star-studded roster, getting them to put aside individual gain in favor of the collective good. His unique relationship with the players has been possible because he himself was one of them just a decade ago. This is a major part of a successful succession plan at Real Madrid. So that's it, folks. This brings an end to the topic on succession planning. These are some of the sources and links referred to for the content in the video. If you've liked the video, do subscribe to our channel where you'll witness 3 new videos daily. Additionally, if you want to view these videos in an organized manner, you can visit freecourses.net, where all our videos are arranged in the form of courses. Thank you and see you in the next video.